So get this. Did you know that 23% of adults ages 18 to 65 suffer from bunions on their feet? Well, if you're one of them, there is a new procedure available now that is making a big change in how bunions are treated. And I am joined today by Dr. Adam Perler to talk about Lapiplasty. Did I do okay?
You got it.
Lapiplasty 3D bunion correction. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you, Natalie. How are you?
I am well. So I got to be honest with you. I think this is the first time I've talked about bunions on air before, but I really didn't know how many people do deal with these. And in your practice, which I want to get to know your practice a little bit, how long you guys have been around, you do see bunions quite often, it sounds like.
Yeah, in the foot and ankle world, we see it all the time. A lot of people have it. Like you said, 23% of patients 18 to 65 have it, and then after 65 it actually goes up to about 36%.
Wow. See, I'm going to do that. I'm asking for a friend right now. Asking for a friend. Are bunions something that you are predispositioned to, or like I may or may not blame it on like point shoes in ballet back in my formative years?
You can blame it on point shoes, but you should actually blame your parents and your grandparents because there is a hereditary factor to it. But shoes can definitely accelerate things, and activities like ballet can aggravate the feet a little bit, but usually it's more hereditary.
Well, I'm not taking my shoe off, but we are going to show a picture right now of what people do tend to suffer when it comes to bunions. What exactly are we looking at here?
So basically what you're looking at is well, one thing I want to show that you're not looking at is a bump on the toe. It's actually an angular deformity of the toe where it leans towards the second toe, but the metatarsal bone, which is the toe right behind the big toe, sweeps out of position and it rolls it, and it's a 3D or three-dimensional problem. It's not just a bump on the big toe. And so basically what we do with the Lapiplasty is we're addressing the bunion deformity in all three planes, which is a big advancement over how we've done it traditionally.
So traditionally, I've heard, and maybe this is just rumor, maybe you're with me out there, that this kind of surgery is painful. It takes a while to recover. You may never recover. How has this procedure changed surgery and what patients can experience?
Sure. So the bunion traditionally, we've treated it like a two-dimensional problem and just as a bump. So a lot of times what we're doing is we're cutting the bone, we're shifting it, and we're just trying to realign the toe, but that is actually more cosmetic than anything, which is why it has a much higher recurrence rate. And we see sometimes up to, at least studies are showing 70% recurrence rate over a lifetime, where the newer technique is three-dimensional, so we're rolling the bone back into position, and it's much more powerful and it has a lot less recurrence. And what we're seeing with initial studies is actually less than 5%, closer to 3% with this new technique.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you had some inspiration, though, you were sharing with me during some of your travels to Italy. Explain your inspiration and why, let's just say the Leaning Tower of Pisa kind of explained what this procedure is all about.
So yeah, the Leaning Tower of Pisa is actually an engineering problem, right? You have a building that is leaning to the side, and the way we've traditionally treated bunions is it's like looking at the top floor and saying there's a problem with the top floor being crooked to the horizon. So if you just cut the top floor and shift it, you can make the top floor better and solve the problem of a crooked horizon, but now you've deformed the tower and you have a straight top floor but a crooked tower. And so this new technique is approaching it like an engineer would, this problem, and taking the whole structure and making it straight and solving the top floor problem at the same time.
Well, what really even paints the picture, you actually have an example here.
Sure.
Just to give us an idea of where the surgery would happen, where the correction would happen.
Yeah,
right?
so traditional bunions, we're correcting it at the toe itself.
Okay.
And that's more cosmetic. We're getting rid of the bump, we're realigning the toe. But like I said, that doesn't really seem to last, and we're actually deforming this metatarsal bone. The problem is actually instability higher up in the foot, and that's what's different about the Lapiplasty, is it's actually treating at the base, just like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and we're basically rotating the bone in three dimensions, or three planes, to get the bone segment aligned, and then we're using basically patented titanium technology to fixate it, and this is the key, because that allows patients to walk earlier, allows them to recover faster, and more importantly, it basically negates the potential for recurrence.
Well, I was going to say, you just said some key words right there, the potential for recurrence and, of course, recover faster. If you have any questions, if you want more information on this new process, there's the information on your screen right there. Give Dr. Perler a call, his team today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
This has been very educational.